Namaste. Welcome from lovely, lovely Liverpool. And I must start by thanking Manch UK, Meera Kaushik, Ambika, Vidya, Shubhalakshmi and Suhani helping Meera. It's really lovely to be in this platform. It's a nice idea to have a Facebook Live page where till the 24th of May you can switch on at 6 and meet 30 different artists telling you about their journey. I can't tell you how delighted I feel to be a part of this. It gives a wonderful sense of belonging. And interestingly, I started my first performance along with various artists who are all in this month as well. So after a long journey through different routes, we meet again. About the dance, and I think it's a really nice thing because of the social isolation. We feel so isolated that if we can, through these mediums, get in touch with each other, that's really lovely. And at this time, I would like to dedicate my session to care workers, all the care workers up and down the country who are sacrificing their lives and their dedication, their giving to look after the vulnerable ones. So big thanks to all of you, and we are all with you. I think I should now probably start telling you about my journey. I was born in Kolkata. My dad was a chemist and he loved theatre. My mum was a singer who wanted to be a dancer. She really wanted to be a dancer, but the society was such, lots of stigma, so she could not carry on with dancing. She learned to sing and she was a very good singer. But it's a nice story how she became interested in dance. As a child, she went to a missionary school where they once danced a poppy dance. And she described it to me. At the end of the dance, all these little 6, 7-year-olds held hands together in a circle and put their heads in the middle. They all had red tutus, so all their tutus went up and their black heads were in the center, so that made a picture of a poppy. So that was her poppy dance, and she was so proud of that poppy dance, and that dance actually gave her this dream of dance, and it really fired something in her, and she always wanted me and my sister to dance. So she made sure that we kind of really find some ways of dancing. In those days where I was growing up in Calcutta, there wasn't really dance schools, a lot of dance schools. Dance teachers used to teach either coming to your house or maybe one will go to their house. And lots of schools doubled up with art centers. So over the weekends they will give lessons in dance, music, painting, various art forms. And it was customary, it was really very common for all of us to go and do that. Saturday, Sunday was really left for doing this sort of work. And I went to one local school called Chandu Bharati and started to learn dance first from Bashunto Singh, who was a Manipuri dance teacher. But he also loved performance. As soon as he will get a few dance students a bit ready to dance, he will go to take us to various places to take part in performances. So those performances were sometimes in theatres, sometimes in made-up stages. But it gave me an opportunity to travel, to go somewhere, all different parts of Calcutta and then outside that as well. And doing so many performances gave me a love of performance, which I think I still have with me, and also took lots of fear out of performance. Along with that dancing in school, I learned this in the school and went to perform in various places. Afterwards, I went to learn from Shurutitha. These dance classes were maybe a bit different from what I hear. In the dance schools, we had opportunity to learn different styles of dances. So in our dance school, Shurutitha, we learned Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, folk dances and Kathak. And then for the school's performance, we will just do different items from there and maybe another dance drama. But also there was really a big trend of performance in Calcutta. They were all based on Tagore's work. Tagore has got huge contribution to promote dance and develop dance in particularly Bengal and Calcutta. He wrote beautiful dance dramas about women, giving women really good roles. They were all stories about brave women, pioneering women, women who has fought against social injustice, who has been very strong to question different social customs. So these were beautiful pieces to dance and kind of gave people a nice feeling when there was in the society, it was not looked upon very favorably that girls going out to dance using their bodies. This kind of glorious stories about women made it a little bit easier and socially acceptable. And from those kind of dances, so I had kind of, a good practice and good habit of going and taking part in those dance dramas and Tagore dance kind of programs. And then in the school, I'll be learning classical dances. Then when I was studying for my master's degree in statistics, Omuladi started a school in Calcutta. She started Udashankar India Culture Center. It is Udashankar India Culture Center, not Indian Culture Center, because this was a particular point that Udashankar made, that art is really for sharing. The dance and the arts and culture of India is for everyone to share. It is not only an Indian right to do that. So the school was called, as it was in Almora also, that the Udashankar India Culture Center. Going to Udashankar India Culture Center changed my whole attitude towards dance. I realized that there is much more to dance than just performing. It kind of opened up the whole world, and since then, since meeting Omuladi, dance has become an integral part of my life, my living, my breathing. I will tell you a little bit about the dance class because I think from what I hear, I think it was a slightly different classes. In there we learned again Bharatanatyam, Kathakali from Raghavan Guruji and Manipuri. And then we had a class which we called general class where we learned creative dance. In that class, we really learned what dance is, how to make dance, how to appreciate dance, how to take criticism. So the classes always started with the walk. So we'll all have to walk, and it also improved our walking, our posture as well. So we'll all be walking, and then suddenly Omuladi will either tap a shoulder, so we'll have to make a shoulder movement, or she will say, give a clap on the fourth beat, so we will learn about the rhythm. Sometimes she'll say change direction, all kind of small instructions. And then gradually that whole exercise will become a dance. And another really interesting thing we had in the classes is we had live music. So we had sharud, flute, and water xylophone. And we were even lucky to have Kamalesh Moitra, who had also played with Dada Udashankar, to play that with us. It was a wonderful, heavenly experience. Another person who has big influence in my dancing career and in my life and in my attitude towards literature, life's philosophy and living is Manjushree Chakishorkar. Manjudi was a pioneering dancer. She was very daring, and she kind of questioned various things. She brought interesting interpretation of Tagore's dance, and particularly she always wanted to have a natural expression. She will say, "Why do you always smile when you're dancing?" For us, default was smiling. We always have to smile if we're not doing anything. But she said, "No, we don't always laugh, so you don't have to laugh all the time." And then she also questioned, why are there only those 9 mentioned emotions in Navarasa? There are so many others in between ones. How do we do that? So that is how I kind of started to think about it intellectually as well. Amuladi and Manjudi has left a lasting impression in my life. I still turn to them, I kind of in my mind, and because I won't say that I go back to them, or Manjudi is not here now, but in my mind I think about things that they have said. One thing that they have taught is to make us independent, to think independently about our dance, to solve the things for ourselves. When I was learning in Uday Shankar Culture Center, also Anthropological Survey of India were looking for a dance researcher, so they asked Uday Shankar if he can recommend someone, and I was very fortunate that Uday Shankar, as we call Dada, as we call him, recommended me, and I joined the Indian Anthropological Survey as their senior research fellow. That also gave me a wonderful opportunity to travel. I was based in Purulia and I did my field work there. And that's an experience I have never imagined I'll have. Sometimes the chow performance is special there, and chow performances happen overnight. So there won't be buses or transport to go to different villages to see the chow dance. So we will be walking miles with all the other villagers to reach there, and then whole night we will watch it under the open sky. And then at 6 in the morning, something like that, as the morning is breaking, the play will come towards its end, and then again we'll walk back. Once when I was there, I saw something amazing, and I don't know if Shubhash is watching. I'm worried, don't try that. I'll explain what it is. In that area, they had some people who were called Natuas, and they were mostly acrobats. So I went to see this Natua who will put a needle on the ground, and then he will turn backwards and lift it with his eyelids. So, I really had chance to see all these various kinds of dance and how people love dancing, how villagers will get together and make dance and enjoy dancing all the time. After I started working there, I couldn't finish my research. I got married and I came to UK. And the story there is very similar to most of the stories I've heard from all the young dancers as well. So sometimes it feels that has nothing changed, but it has changed. When I came here, I realized that nobody understands what I'm saying. If I say, what style do you dance? And if I say I do the Shankar style of Indian dance, they did not understand, they have not heard name of Uday Shankar, so I just didn't know until I went to join a dance choir for Laban people, Laban dancers, and there it was a weekend that I went to attend to do the dance choir, and of all the persons, Lisa Woolman came to join me on the breakfast table, and she asked me, so how is Uday Shankar? She had met Dada in Dartington. That's the first time my two worlds came together, my world in UK and my dance world in India. So when one of the main problem was there was no organization or anything regularly providing dance. I didn't know who to go to. And the other problem was I had no music. In our dance school, we had all the live music all the time. So there was no recording, there was not a standard music. It's all creative dance. So you're making new dances and having new music to it, and all the musicians are there to do it for you. So I didn't know what to do, but that's when I got real help from my very dear friend Ananda Shankar. Thank you so much, Anando, having those wonderful music. And one good thing about those were they were short music and they were dance music. If you ask anybody who had any training in the Shankar style of creative dance or any creative dance, they can always dance to Ananda's music. If Ananda's music plays somewhere, you almost cannot stay still. You will always be moving with that. And they're short, so it was really very useful to string them together and to make a long dance out of present short pieces. And the other thing for my dance was Tagore's connection. I was so used to dancing to Tagore's song and Tagore's poems. It was a bit difficult here because of the language. I felt that it's not always translating. And I'm in Liverpool, where I had to really present my dance to a wider community who not necessarily have the same language or culture. So going across cultural boundary was a very, very important part of reaching the audience, reaching people's minds. It's really, the whole idea of dance is really to reach out, to find another family of audience, friends and students, everything. That's where I had great fortune to get to know William Radici. His translation somehow gave the similar kind of flavor, and I found that although it's English language, I can move quite easily with the words, and the feelings are so beautifully encapsulated in his words. He crafted them so beautifully that it was really wonderful to dance to them. And I'm very fortunate that William has translated some poems for me, especially for me to dance. Around this time, I also had another special thing, another turning point came. A couple of singers, famous singers from Shantiniketan, Tagore's University, came to give a performance here. And they were given evening performance in Bhavan Center and asked me to dance. I was in London at that time. I went there to have my second daughter, and she was only a month old, and I was pretty fat and all, but I had an opportunity to dance and I just took it. I danced there, and I'm so fortunate that on that day Ray Clark was also there. He went to see the music concert. So after the show he came and said that he didn't bring his camera. I don't know how that happened. But if I ever dance in London again, he would like to photograph me. Ray is a wonderful dance photographer, and he knew a lot about Indian dance and the Indian dance scene in London. So through him, I got to know about various things that were happening in London and about many dancers. Once weekend I was in London, so usual way I called Ray and said, I'm here, so can I just go to see something? She said, well, there's no performance, but I'm going to a party and you can come. So he took me to Sanjeevani's house where she was having a party, and after that, as they say, since in its history, I found a friend for a lifetime. Sanjeevani and I formed a company, and since then till today, we share all our dance dreams and frustrations and plans, everything. So I think it's a really good thing to have some good friends within the dancing community, so that we can share our thoughts. I've always felt that we need to have that connection. And from that, we kind of talked, and in a very early stage, we formed this organization called Aditi. It was one of the Indian dance umbrella organization. and it brought all together, which has really helped to promote Indian dance and to bring it to the stage that it is now. Also, around that time, Arts Council started a new movement called Animator Movement, where they booked dancers to go and make dance more accessible. I was appointed the first dance animator, South Asian dance animator in Liverpool, Merseyside, and that gave me wonderful opportunity to go to communities, small places, places that we don't consider. I didn't have that I can go and do Indian dance or I can reach out. So we went to all those places and then also to schools. This was to create future audience. And I'm so glad that I had those opportunities, and that has given me so much that keeps me still going. And I got kind of comments and compliments, excellent, excellent, and I would like to share them with you. I went to dance in a care home where after the performance, one old lady said that you have made death easier for me. I don't think I did anything, but she saw something in that. And then Piali once sent me to a children's school. So amongst all the 6-year-olds that didn't want to do the dance first, but then on the second day, one little girl came to me and said, Richard wants to say something to you. So I look at 6-year-old Richard. So this girl said that Richard said that you are a good dancer and he wants to marry you. So compliments like that has really enriched my life completely. So animator movement took me to community dance, and I have really enjoyed, and I still enjoy doing community dance, connecting with people. There are no barrier. It's not a division between audience and people, so you can really feel that you are connecting with people, and you learn so much from all that. From that experience, I continued with that, and I started to look at also myself and wanted to know what does happen as the body changes, because we all dancers have got great fear of aging and losing our fitness. So for that, I first started to question it at the age of 50 when I asked Shobana Gulati, who was actually making dances, Bollywood dances for young people. I said, Shobi, what would you do with the old body? And she made me a dance. She choreographed a dance, the most beautiful dance, and I think that's my most energetic dance as well. I wanted to explore Bibhatsharasa. I thought I've come to an age, I think now I could probably leave my vanity of looking good and try to see how we do Vivatsharasa. But I don't know how far, how successful I have been, because once Chris Bannerman asked Shobi what was the problem of working with BISAKHA. She said that, well, she did it, but it wasn't grotesque enough. So I think I'm sorry, Shobi, I couldn't do it as well as you wanted me to. So I have had those wonderful experiences, and then I did, following from that, I organized a conference, because I thought we all dancers of all genres, we needed to think about the aging, how we can help the aging population, and how we can find some kind of platform for ourselves to dance as we are aging. And that conference was called Marks of Time, and that opened up many avenues, that gave me new friendship as well. And that's how it's going on. And I kind of still look for opportunities to dance, practice, and it is coming. And I will have to share something with you which surprised me, that after turning 70, suddenly I found that more and more opportunities are coming. When I thought, that's end of life, it can't happen anything. I received a Queen's Award. I got MBE. After 70, I got a Churchill Fellowship to go to Canada to see what they are doing with their work. And I got also a commission from Bearing Foundation's commission from Blue Coat Art Center to create an installation. And Alchemy wanted to take that. And I'd like to kind of remember that and be very grateful, feel blessed that these opportunities have come. And as late as even this year, in February, Amina called me to take part in a performance that she was doing. And it's wonderful. She has created some new characters, and that's very hopeful that maybe new characters will be written and we will be able to continue to dance. On that note, I think I will have to say, also I have forgotten to do something. I wanted to show you two pictures as I was telling you about my teachers. One is a very nice picture because I would like to remember them, Amuladi, and it's probably on her wedding day. And the other one is of Munjubi. I don't know if you can see that. We are all dancing at Basantotsav in Shantiniketan. So I would like to just remember those two people. And I think at this stage, if I don't stop telling you about my journey and do a bit of dance, then Meera will never talk to me. So I think I will do that. I have decided that for today, I haven't given up any vanity. I'll have to take my glasses off to dance. Put it there. I'm going to do a dance which is really poetry. My love of dancing to poetry is still there. And this one is a poem by Robert Bringhurst, who I met at a conference where we were sent by Commonwealth Institute. He recites that music. I don't know. Huh? Oh.
Sees is and is not what you think you have seen in the water. difference exists between body and mind, language and mind, language and body. What is not. What is not. What is not. You must love and let loose of the world. I used to write poems, and like yours, they were made out of words, which is why they said nothing. My friend, there is only one word that I know now. There is only one word that I know now. There is only one word that I know now, and I have somehow forgotten its name.
For spending this half an hour with me. I hope you will come here again tomorrow in this platform to see beautiful Vidya Patel. I don't know if you had any questions for me. I will probably give it to. And I think it is 6 o'clock, 6:30. So maybe we finish here. If you have any questions, I can read things here now. Thank you all. Thank you very much. It is really in the poem. You can't help it. It's a beautiful one. Thanks to Robert Bringhurst.
Questions can be answered in comments.
Yeah, so I think if you have got any questions for me, I'll be really happy to write about it. Thank you very much.